You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Monday, August 27th, 2018. It is also the feast day of St. Monica. This week on the Catholic Sprouts podcast, we are tackling the topic of prayer. The reason why we're talking about prayer this week is because of some of the great saints that we will be celebrating, including St. Monica today. St. Monica was the mother of St. Augustine, whose feast day is tomorrow. Now, St. Augustine did not have the greatest youth. St. Augustine was a known sinner and did all sorts of horrible things before he converted to Christianity, eventually became a priest, and then a bishop, and wrote so many amazing spiritual works that we still use today. But what happened? How did he give up this life of sin and become a great priest and bishop? Well, he credited his conversion to the prayers of his mother, St. Monica. St. Monica never gave up on her son. She petitioned heaven every day, asking that her son's heart might be softened and he might come to love Jesus. And in the end, after years of prayer, God heard her, and St. Augustine came into the faith. But prayer is not something that only saints do. We are all called to pray every single day. When I was young, I remember not really knowing what prayer is. It's a little hard to understand because it's something quiet that happens in the secrets of our hearts. So I want to help you try to understand what prayer actually is. First of all, prayer is actually very simple, and it can be done in lots of different ways. Praying simply means being in the presence of God. And as you know, God is everywhere. We can pray and talk to God and share our feelings with Him in nature. If we see the beautiful world that God created, we can feel His presence and open ourselves up to Him. We can obviously feel the presence of God and pray to Him when we are in church. But we can do this anywhere. We could do it in our bedroom, in our living room, in our classroom. God is in all of these places, and because of that, we can come into His presence and pray. A few things to remember about prayer. Some great priests have told us that God's primary language is silence. So it is nearly impossible to pray while we are distracted by other things. For example, you cannot pray while the TV's on. You cannot pray while loud music is blasting, unless it's music about God. These things do not allow the silence for God to speak to us. And that's the other important point about prayer. Prayer is not just talking. It's not just coming to God with a list of petitions that we want Him to do. Praying is about talking and listening. That is why it is so important that when we pray, we find some silence. God does want us to come to Him and tell Him all of our needs and ask for forgiveness for all of the things that we have done and thank Him for all the amazing things He already has done. But He wants us to sit, to be calm, and to wait for Him to speak. So here is your challenge today, Sprouts. Today, I want you to take just 1 minute to go somewhere by yourself, somewhere where you can be easily reminded that God is there. Maybe it's nature, maybe it's a church, maybe it's a private little corner of your home. But go there and spend 1 full minute thinking about God in complete silence. He might not say anything to you. What he might do instead is just give you a little peace, a little feeling that he is there and that he loves you. That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God intended you to be. Just one more thing, Sprouts. If you would like to continue to learn about your amazing Catholic faith at home or in school, I encourage you to download and use a set of free Catholic coloring pages. There's one for each letter of the alphabet, and you'll find them at DoSmallThingsWithLove /coloring.